35 grams of sugar. My God, I'm actually dreading this. I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous. Will regular Coke spike my blood glucose? I'm sure it will, but by how much? The thing is, I haven't touched regular Coke in 10 years, so this was going to be a proper test for my system. On day 1, I had a regular can of Coke, and on day 2, I had a can of Coke Zero, both 330 ml. The results? Let's find out. Oh, by the way, just before that, here are some interesting facts you might want to know. Regular Coke, there's a lot of sugar in it. Yes, it depends on the quantity you drink, but in a 330 ml can, there's 35 grams of sugar, and that's a lot. Do you know how much that equates to? 7 teaspoons of sugar. The World Health Organization recommends less than 10% of the total energy intake for adults and children. That's 25 grams, about 6 teaspoons of sugar intake for adults. And this can has 35 grams of sugar. And in Coke Zero, there's no sugar. But there are artificial sweeteners amongst other ingredients. And one of the most debated sweeteners present in it is aspartame. It's used in over 90 countries worldwide in over 6,000 products. Products like chewing gum, ice cream, yogurt, breakfast cereals, etc. Just Google this to know more. And based on hazard evaluation of IARC, aspartame is placed in the 3rd highest level of the 4 levels because of the inconclusive evidence of causing cancer in humans. JECFA evaluated in 2023 and said that there was no conclusive evidence from experimental animal and human data that aspartame has adverse effects after ingestion, and therefore, looking at the data evaluated, they felt there's no reason to change the previously established ADI of up to 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So in theory, you could have multiple cans of Coke Zero in a day, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea. Let's be honest. Just because your glucose stays within the range doesn't mean it's good for you in the long run. I wouldn't be making that a daily habit. Now back to the test. These are the nutrition values in both of them. In regular Coke, there's 10.6 grams of sugar in 100 ml, which equates to 35 grams in a 330 ml can. In Coke Zero, as the name suggests, it has no sugar but has artificial sweeteners, and one of them is aspartame. Here we go. Tastes good because of the sugar. The stress itself will make my blood glucose spike, I guess. It's all finished. Let me see what this does to my blood glucose levels. So these are the glucose readings I tracked throughout the test with regular Coke. Now let's put it on a graph and see exactly what happened. So just before drinking the regular Coke, it was at 5.9, and after 45 minutes, it peaked to 8.4, which is not as much as I expected, to be honest. I thought it will go through the roof, but at the 60-minute mark, it came down to how much it was at 5.9, and at 90 minutes, the check showed 6.1, a slight increase, but negligible, I think. And at the 2-hour mark, it was at 6.4. So the increase was just after drinking it. So the day after, I had a 330 ml can of Coke Zero. As you now know, there's no sugar, only artificial sweeteners in it. Here's how my body reacted. Here are the glucose readings I recorded at regular intervals after having Coke Zero. Now let's take a look at how it's on the graph. Just before having the Coke Zero, it was 6.5. At the 45-minute check, it showed almost the same, 6.2. However, at the 1-hour mark, it actually dipped to 5.3. It went up a little bit and displayed 5.8 at an hour and a half, finally showing 6.7 millimoles per liter when checked after 2 hours. Even though the baseline readings for both are slightly different, we can see the clear spike for regular Coke after 45 minutes. It went up by 2.5 millimoles per liter, which I'm quite surprised about, as I was expecting it to be much higher because of the amount of sugar in it. And for Coke Zero, there's hardly any spike. In fact, it dipped when checked at 1 hour, as it happened for regular Coke also. By 90 minutes, both showed more or less the same glucose readings through till the last check at the 2-hour mark. So looks like if I have to choose between the two, it has to be Coke Zero, simply because it didn't spike my blood glucose levels. My body reacted well to it, and as far as the artificial sweeteners are concerned, especially aspartame, I'm fine with it after reading the WHO reports, as there isn't conclusive evidence that it causes any harm to humans. Will I be drinking it every day though? I don't think I will. This is how my body reacted to both the drinks. Hope this helped in understanding a bit more about them. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.